Previously on They See Me Rollin. All goblins need to be executed. You see in the moonlight a little goblin. Oh, by the way, my name's Yerp. You see a towering blob of mouths and eyes.
Suck my ghostly skeletal hand, motherfucker!
Nice! It kind of explodes like a volcano. A door opens in the middle of a stone wall.
I somehow don't think these spider worshippers are actually history yet. So Yurt is staying behind this time.
You are now inside what appears to be a brewery. You see a lady. She turns around and sees you and says, "Oh, hi." Okay, so as it stands, one of you snuck out. I think it was
Jelly.
Jelly butter.
Jelly snuck out and met up with the girl inside the
Why
brewery.
don't you describe like the room or something? Just describe how it happened or what happened.
Describe the room.
Just
and the
in
ladies.
very briefly.
What am I
Very
seeing?
briefly, you try to sneak in, but you're very tall and you're red. The lady turns around and sees you. She's extremely welcoming, and the entire brewery kind of reflects this hospitable personality that she displays. There's lots of pots of flowers all over the place. It is definitely a bar, a tavern, but it's got this rustic, welcoming touch to it. With the flowers, some soft lighting due to the way the windows are set up. It's not too bright, but it's never dark. Judging from what you can see outside the windows, it's starting to come along into morning. And there are booths lined against the wall and little like cocktail tables scattered around the room.
Because I listened to the last episode before recording this, she told me, hello, come in, have a drink or something like that.
Well, she welcomed you in.
I was like, okay, and I blushed. So I say,
Yes.
I said, hey, hi, hey.
You just come in from downstairs?
Yeah, I just came in from downstairs. What does she look like, Stan?
Oh, well, let's say she is matronly, but probably in her 30s, judging. She's human.
Okay,
and she has like a short pixie haircut.
So it's just Jelly out there?
yeah, it's just Jelly. We're at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay. Have we heard this?
You hear this?
Is there somebody up there?
Sounds like
So
a mouse to me.
I open the door. I walk through the door, and I come in, look around. This is a nice place you have. You have a great place here. May I ask your name?
Sure. My name's Courtney, and you're very welcome to any table here. Could I get you a drink? Are you alone?
Did you hear that? They said...
I sit.
I'm looking at my languages and I don't speak that language.
I would, Madam Courtney, I would love a drink. I mean, if it's not too much trouble, you know. Is there a bar, like, you know?
Yes, there's a bar set up that you can saddle up to.
Okay, I saddle up to that bar like the roughest, toughest, rootin' tootin'est cowboy.
Okay.
And I order a drink.
She goes to a tap and, she...
Did you hear those
pulls the lever.
footsteps? It sounded like sidling.
She pulls the lever, and this beautiful, gorgeous, golden wheat beer begins to pour out and fill
Nobody
up this mug.
sidles like Jelly butter, really.
Well, the Butter Clan is known for their proficiency in sidling. I take one sip of this beer, and I am instantly drunk. And wait a minute, Stan. Wait a minute.
No, you do not get instantly drunk from this beer. It's a beer.
Wait a minute.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Who are you, Stuart
Does
Wellington?
it come in a can?
It doesn't even work because, like, your character is drinking from a mug.
I use prestidigitation to create the sound of a tab being opened. And I yell down to the hallway, "Hey guys, come up! They have such great beer. It's so great. She's so nice. Did I tell
you
you
hear
so
that?
nice?"
I
He
heard that.
said, "Hey guys, come up. We have such great beer."
Courtney,
Sounded like...
Courtney,
But I think
you are so nice. You are so
I'll
nice.
take that. And I trump
Maybe
up
I'm
the
just
stairs.
hearing what I want to hear.
You have no idea how many just rough boys that I meet. It's so nice to meet such a nice person such as yourself.
I come upstairs.
Yeah,
so
we come
nice.
upstairs.
And
Hey, guys!
she
The
sees you and
party's
she says,
here.
"Oh, so you're not alone. Hello, come in. My name's Courtney. This is my tavern."
Hi.
Why, hello, ma'am. I'm Coen Greyfield.
Back off, buddy. Back off.
We seem to have accidentally stumbled into your basement, but
That's unusual.
I swear on Bass that we were doing nothing suspicious down there.
I believe you. Now, could I get you an ale?
Yes, please.
All right. She grabs two more frosty mugs, and pours in that gorgeous golden yeast.
Ew.
Beer.
Yeast.
Can I just have the yeast?
Miss.
Can you just give me a handful of yeast?
God, no. Ew.
And a handful of barley and a handful of hops. And you can brew it in your stomach.
And some orange peelings if you're a fucking monster. Seriously, fuck you. I don't want to taste orange rinds in my beer, you fucking hipsters.
Do we have orange rinds?
No,
Anyway,
that's just Trevor saying shit.
So, Miss Courtney, this is amazing ale. Do you brew it yourself? I couldn't happen to notice, but your wonderful brewing station below.
Yeah. Yes, I do. I brew it myself, and I farm the ingredients here.
Is there there's like farmland around here for you to do that, or do you have to yeah?
Is this
There
like
is.
is this like a hipster joint?
This isn't a hipster joint. Honestly, that's the hope, is that the word gets around. But we rely very much on the local army.
What do you?
Interesting.
I've seen some of those guys around. What are they? They seem like some rough and tumble boys. Do they make any trouble? Because men, how they are. And I side-eye Coen and Skumk.
They.
Am I right, ladies? You know what I'm talking about. And I hold up my hand for a
she
high five.
high-fives you.
Yes.
Yep. They can be quite shitty. However,
It's true.
they're a very disciplined group. The Waterdeep boys. They are rough. They're tough, but they're disciplined and they're courteous.
They seem to have a major problem with goblins. You don't have any problems
I
with
didn't
goblins.
notice.
She looks at you dead in the eye and says, "I have no trouble with anyone."
You don't see species?
Can I get another round?
She says, "No, I think you've had enough." And she hands you a breath mint.
I pop the breath
So-
mint in my mouth, wrapper and all.
Ma'am, so what you are saying is that you have no issue with the other races of this realm and do not wish to see harm come to them. I'm trying to get this clear.
What I'm saying is, I will serve anyone, and I don't want anyone driving away my customers.
Sure. Would you be willing to protect some friends of ours from this militia? Ma'am, we are willing to pay a good amount of gold to keep this quiet.
We have gold?
You do realize that the director of that stupid company we work for gave us a fortune.
We're freelancers for a conglomerate.
So
Yes.
she looks at you and she says, "Did you see any extra space around here?"
Yeah,
Wow.
we saw some in the basement. Like they're a whole catacomb.
Listen. I lean across the bar as far as I can, and try and grab her hand. Am I successful? Dexterity check.
No, you're not successful. DM call. She pulls her hand away and says, "You really need to chill out."
We need
Listen.
help to get some people away from the guard's eyes.
She said, I don't know where you came from. I know you're here. And do you think I need to know how you got into my basement?
Well, you haven't asked yet.
Exactly. So what do you
Listen,
think? What I don't see, I don't know about.
I respect that.
That makes
I
sense.
respect that.
What about smell?
She said that's actually pretty wise. Can your friends stay clean?
Well, Jelly can't.
Wait, what the fuck are...
Yeah,
Wait,
we-
what does
Listen.
jelly have to do with anything?
Wait, what the fuck are you talking about, Goblin Boy? I wasn't raised in a swamp. I was raised in a desert. Deserts are very clean.
I'm saying this is an intervention.
I bathe
Yes.
all the time. I'm very hygienic.
Yeah, we don't have any reason to believe that of the three of you that Jelly is the stinky one.
I'm not the one that smells like a swamp.
It was
we have one who-
was a joke about like staying clean.
Yeah.
Like,
Staying off the booze,
Oh, that smell. Yes.
Listen,
which she's only just discovered and decided she really likes.
it's okay. She can quit anytime. It's okay.
I
We'll deal with it.
really can, guys. Can I get another round?
No.
We can talk more about this hanging out in the basement scheme. It doesn't have to be our only choice. We can keep checking out other options. Go the other way in the cave.
You can't go the other way in the cave.
Oh.
Remember the arm
Yeah,
fell off.
there is no other way.
Well, okay.
Courtney, what lies beyond your tavern? Like, where is this situated? I know what's behind us. What's ahead of us?
In front of the tavern, if you were to walk straight, you would hit the south of the Sword Mountains. If you were to go behind the tavern and walk past the orchard, you would find a path, and that path will take you where you want to go.
Where is the...
And it will keep you out of sight.
I lean over to Coen and ask, where is it that we want to go again?
She seems to know. I don't know, but it sounds good to me.
So this is a fairly isolated area. There's no other town. We're not in a town.
We're just outside of a town. This is a farm and orchard for the brewery. However, once we open, the soldiers will start coming in.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, I've lost track of time. What time is it? Is this early morning? Or...
It is early morning.
You think we should just hang out for now and go tomorrow night?
I think maybe we should leave.
Leave now?
Yeah, take our people and head out the back door before the soldiers get here.
What real question? What was our plan going in here? Like, we liberated goblins and then stuff. Do we plan on killing all of the soldiers, or
Do you remember what your mission was?
our mission rather was to scout out the area and report back to what's her name about what we found, right?
Right.
Cool.
But now we're currently trying to save this bunch of goblins and get them away from the guards somewhere safe.
Okay, real quick question. We last left the goblins in the spider temple, so are they just hanging out there until they hear from us? Like, do we need to go back
Yes.
and tell them what the safest way to get out of here is?
I think we should wait in the spider temple for today and then go at night.
Ma'am, there is actually there is a spider temple under your establishment here. That's how we came through. And our friends are waiting in there for you to get out. Would you think that would be a good idea if we waited there till night? Would you mind till after all the guards have gone to bed?
That will be very late, but that's no trouble. However, I wouldn't travel with all your friends. Did you see any place where they could stay?
Spider Temple.
There won't be a lot of food in there for them.
Ma'am, do you sell food here?
Yes, it's a farm.
That makes sense.
We could buy some food for the guys downstairs.
We
Hang
could
out
grow mushrooms.
Either in the Spider Temple or the dungeons, because I think there's actually beds in there, or cots or something. We could just hang out in there until day, and then sneak past at night.
To whom was that addressed?
To Coen and Skumk, really. I'm just kind of conferring with my companions.
All right, we can hang out downstairs until then. What do you think?
I pull out my bag of gold, and I place...
You have a whole bag of gold?
I place 10 gold pieces on the counter, and I say, there's another 50 gold pieces in this for you if you do not give away our location to the guards, ma'am.
She says, keep the 50 gold. I will use this to pay for the food. She takes your 10 gold, right? Then she reaches into a little area underneath her the bar from, back where she's at. She pulls out a little wooden, looks like kind of a coin, and it is black with a red circle in the middle.
What is that?
Someone do a check on this thing to find out what it is.
Or you could listen to the second episode. No, I mean literally the second episode we did. The black background with the red circle in the middle is the symbol of the blazing dusk.
Oh yeah, those
yeah.
guys that we
remember
those guys that we supposedly work for.
Oh yeah, it's like the FedEx symbol.
Yeah.
It's like the symbol on the mail trucks that looks like a megaphone, but really it's an eagle.
It's like the logo for the Who.
Have they given us one of those coins
It's
that we
like
can flash to
the
people?
Empire of the Rising Sun.
No, they have not.
We need to have a serious talk with what's-her-name back at the cabin.
Yeah, I want one of those coins.
Well, she just handed you one, so...
Oh, did she hand it to us?
Yes.
I
Oh, okay.
I look at her, raise one eyebrow, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay. So I take it you guys are going to head downstairs?
Yeah.
That is what we're going to do.
I start heading down to the basement.
I bow to Courtney and head down.
I take a handful of yeast and hops as I go down from the basement.
All right. So you guys head down. You head down to their basement. You go through the trap door, head into that little dungeon area. Go past that dungeon area with lots of rooms. And then you head down the stairs from the dungeon area back into the Spider Temple. And you see them... You see the spiders enjoying some jerky. And
The goblins.
They look up
The spiders? There's
the goblin spiders.
you see the goblins down there enjoying some jerky. And as you enter, they look up and smile at you.
I brought yeast.
Oh, wow, yeast. Oh, we're eating good tonight.
I throw it up in the air like confetti.
No! Yeah, that's not how yeast works. It's going to be scattered everywhere.
Well, we can eat it off the floor.
That's so gross.
No,
This is
it's
exactly what happens. You see a whole bunch of goblins just run up and start eating the yeast
start-
off the floor.
They lick a piece of jerky so it's wet, and then they put it on the yeast to pick it all up.
I make a face, and
It's like a lick'em stick.
Yeah.
the worst
Lick-a-maid.
the worst candy to get on Halloween.
So we can have a long rest now?
You may
Get our
have
spell
a
slots
long
back in
rest now.
Before I have a long rest, are any of the goblins still injured? You said there were injured goblins when we first came in.
There are some injured goblins. There were 3 injured goblins, if I recall correctly.
I want to ask their permission to lay my hands on them.
Gross.
Be healed by the name of the Lord.
Inappropriate.
Look, I won't be laying hands on anybody without permission, but if they would like some easement of their pain, I can lay my hands on them and give them healing energy from Bast.
Hand laying is a big deal in goblin culture.
I know, that's why I'm asking permission.
It is 2 injured goblins. So Europe looks at them, looks at you, and says, this is all above board, right?
Absolutely.
All right, I trust you. Whatever you can do to help them.
Okay, well, I can give them 5 hit points each.
So you kneel down next to these 2 goblins, and where would you lay your hands on their chest?
Just on their heads.
On their heads? Okay, you lay your hands on their heads, and your hands begin to glow, and the aura resembles that of cat's paws.
That's right. My hands become glowing golden cat's paws.
The glow seeps into their skin, and their skin begins to glow bright bright green.
That is my favorite color.
Bleen.
Gleam.
It's the eighth color that can only be seen by wizards.
Once you are done, they open their eyes, they take a deep breath, and they just pop up. They get up on their feet, and they're just looking better than they have ever looked in their lives. They didn't have a whole lot of hit points to begin with, so 5 hit points was a lot.
Well, I hope you feel better now. Now we will have our rest.
And they give you a big hug.
I kind of hug them and pat them and say, yes, thank you.
You have one on each leg, and they're just like hugging.
Oh, what the heck! I pick them up and have a big bear hug with them.
And you hear them giggling. And they're very happy. They're very happy, nice goblins. Anyway,
all right.
So you guys set up a little camp down there, and you get a nice long rest. Get all your spell slots back, all your hit points, and you're feeling pretty good when you wake up.
Well, while we're just hanging around the campfire or whatever in the Spider Temple, I just kind of want to side it left to Coen and say, so, buddy, I've always wondered, how did you become a follower of the great boss, the cat god of vengeance?
Well, Jelly, that is a very sad and very short, brief tale, which I can tell you now.
A very sad and very bad. And very mad.
Very bad. I was
very glad.
I was once
And very
I
rad
was once
story.
a peaceful blacksmith. and blacksmithing, I learnt under a master. His name was Morty Shinsplitter. And he taught me everything he knew about blacksmithing. And then one day I went out to get some supplies and came back, and Morty had been beaten to death. It was the worst day ever. And on that day I swore that I would become a vengeance paladin and come back and avenge his death. And that's what led me on this path.
Who did it?
I haven't found that out yet, but when I do, my vengeance will reign supreme.
You should get on that.
I put my hand on Cohen's shoulder and say, sounds like you've
There's a little tear running down Cohen's cheek.
I wipe it. I wipe it away with a handkerchief. And
I take the handkerchief and blow my nose loudly. Thank you.
Ah, that's sweet.
Buddy, you know,
And then I hand the handkerchief back to Jelly.
and I calmly hand it back to him.
Thank you. I stuff it in my shirt pocket.
Well, buddy, when that day comes, whenever it may be, and I hope that it does come, you can count on me to help you bring about your vengeance and see that justice is done upon this man.
Thank you.
I'll be
Thank you.
around.
I take your oath seriously, and I'm glad you are a friend, a true friend.
I'll
You
watch.
are literally one of 2 friends that I have. Therefore,
I
one
won't
of my
actively
best
stop
friends.
you.
Sorry, Skump, I didn't hear that.
I'll watch.
Skump likes to watch vengeance.
He's a vengeance voyeur, as they say.
All right.
I now know why we're hanging out together.
So you guys wake up. You guys go to sleep after this moving conversation. And you wake up. The goblins are all packing up, getting ready to go. And Yerp walks up to you guys and says, guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate all your help. Let me know if I can do anything for you. Otherwise, lead the way.
Okay, we will lead the way. Maybe we should send Jelly up. Oh, this is such a bad idea. No, we should send Skump up ahead to scout out to make sure this isn't a trap.
What? Like in the form of a beaver or something?
Coen.
You are
Coen,
very
if
quick
you
to
wish-
jump into your animal forms, dude.
Coen, since you're the only human member of the party, I think you should go first because I think you would attract the least attention.
Where I'm
his
from,
mail?
beavers are considered the worst pests. Just
Okay.
I have no
Just
comment.
a little bit of world building there.
This is Skump's big brown beaver. Okay, well, I'll go ahead. I don't mind. I'm not particularly sneaky, but
Upstairs, you do not notice any creaking from the floorboards. You do not notice any unusual indentures that weighted mail on a person would press down against. You have no reason to
Okay.
believe that there is anyone upstairs that's lying in wait.
okay, I think we're safe, guys. Let's go.
Okay.
So we sneak up.
You head upstairs, and you notice that the floor is dark and empty.
Okay, we sneak out through the door and
Alright.
go to the back path
With all of these
So-
goblins?
with a whole army of goblins.
How
with
many
us.
of them are there? Like 40?
Plus Europe, I believe there's 24. Yeah, it's 24 total goblins.
So yes, we're sneaking through. The objective is to sneak these goblins out through the tavern into the path that she said would lead us to where that we wanted to go, correct?
You are very densely covered in foliage. So you go through the path. You head into the orchard, and you just head straight from the house. You hit a wall of I don't know, like forest or shrubbery. I don't know what you call it.
A
But
shrubbery.
Undergrowth.
growth in general. But there is
And the Knights of Neep.
there's a small little passage that goes in at a very sharp angle, so that it's kind of hard to see. But you find it, given her instructions, and you go through this single file, and you keep going until you reach the edge of this little forest, and across 300 feet away, you see the shack.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
So
see
hang on, did
Shaquille
we find
O'Neal.
our way? Did we find our way back to the place where Sarah is?
That's correct.
Oh wow,
You're at
Sarah,
Sarah's
that's her
shack.
name.
we're back. Magic. That's cool. Okay, so I say to the goblins, "We know the person who lives in there. She'll protect you." And we go up to the shack.
As you cross to the shack, you see a light begin to glow inside the window. And as you get near, the door opens, and you see Sarah looking out at you. And as you arrive, you see that she is smiling. Then she sees the goblins, and she goes, "Oh, wow. What's going on?
We brought friends.
I see. What did you find?"
It's a very grim scene. That
Whole
we found.
lot of spider bullshit. Whole lot of spider bullshit.
Yeah, we
We
found...
found that the guards are killing goblins by the thousands, but we rescued these guys.
She is kind of like shocked. You said thousands?
Well, hundreds probably.
Well, yes, it may have been a little hyperbole.
Are there any other survivors?
Not that we saw, but presumably.
We could ask Yerp here. Hey, Yerp, do you know of any other survivors?
I didn't see any, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't go around a whole lot of places. I just stuck around my home, and as it stands, it's just these guys.
Yerp, this is Sarah. Sarah, this is Yerp.
And he looks at Sarah and says, "Pleased to meet you, ma'am." And she smiles at him and says, "The pleasure is mine." She turns to you and says, "We need to talk." She brings you inside.
All of us, the goblins as well.
No, she doesn't have space enough for all the goblins.
Oh,
but
I was hoping to have like goblins just everywhere, like maybe like in
Sitting
in
on
Gremlins.
bookshelves.
Yeah, in the cupboards.
the goblins. Yerp says. She says to Yerp, "I apologize. There's not much space within this shack. However,
Sticking
there
their heads
is
in the windows.
She said there's a small cavern right next to the shack that you can all enter into and feel safe. The Kingsmen have not been here yet.
That's convenient.
I can assure you they won't find it." Yerp says, "All right, thanks, ma'am. That's the least we could ask for. Thanks a lot." And he waves to you guys and says, "If you need anything, we'll be right over there." And
Have
he
fun.
walks and guides his people over to the little cavern. And she says, "All right, the three of you, I need you to come inside."
Okay.
And she enters inside and leaves the door open for you.
Yes, we do that.
Okay. You enter in. You can take the lazy boy again?
Hell yeah.
All right. She grabs a trunk and brings the trunk into the middle of the room. And she says, "You three will need these." And she opens up the trunk. She pulls out a dark folded purple
Some junk.
piece
Please
of
be
cloth.
some junk. There's got to be junk in her trunk.
It's pretty junky. I mean, this isn't great stuff. But
Okay,
she
good.
takes this this purple giant thing of cloth and unfolds it, and you see that it's a robe with some golden lining, and on the back of the robe is the Waterdeep sigil, and she tosses it to Jelly.
Yay.
Is this like a bathrobe?
It's a mage's robe.
Like a boxing
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
robe.
Like a boxing, like a boxing
Yeah,
robe.
kind of like
with
those boxing robes are a lot like a mage's robe.
hood. Is it satin?
No, they don't get that good stuff.
Not that fancy.
No. To Skumk, she hands a dark
racist.
green.
What, we all look the same?
Yeah, yeah. She hands you a dark green leather outfit with brown trim and the
flesh
water
colored.
deep. Yeah, and the Waterdeep sigil on the back. Underneath
Depends
all
whose
that,
flesh you're talking about.
She has this basically an undone suit of shiny armor with the Waterdeep sigil on the neck piece. And
What's
she
this
says
symbol?
that symbol is the sigil of Waterdeep. The let's just say the Waterdeep symbol. It is 2 stars on the left and the right, 2 golden stars, and in the center is one curve that's pointed, that's vertical, and then one curve that's horizontal, which represents a sail and a boat, because Waterdeep's commerce is through its ports.
Very good.
Makes
There.
sense to me.
Okay,
Yep.
and I made that up.
What kind of armor? What kind of armor is it? Do I get an armor upgrade?
No, it's the same kind of armor you're wearing right now.
It's just chainmail.
Yeah, it's nothing fancy, but it is shiny. It's
I
very
don't mind.
shiny. No, these are not intended to be upgrades. These are intended for you to wear
To be
because,
disguises. Yes.
as she says, I need you to infiltrate the Kingsmen, and I need you to bring back the captain alive.
Madam, I have one question. You can put a suit on Skump, but he's still going to be a goblin.
And I'm
She
still
said-
going to be a tiefling.
That's right.
That's correct.
She says you do make a good
You can
point.
take the gob out of the Lin, but you can't take the goblin.
It's like putting lipstick on a goblin.
She says
Still a goblin.
she looks at Skumk and she says, "Could you do me a favor and just put it on really quickly?"
Okay. I put it over my head.
You put the whole leather outfit over your head. Okay.
I put my clothes on one head at a time, just like everybody else.
All right. So you just slip over the leather outfit over your current rags. Suddenly, before your very eyes, Skumk is now a very blonde, very chiseled human male.
Oh, I love it.
He's
Have I grown in height?
You are 6
It's
feet
just a
tall.
very. Oh, he's grown as well.
I look down at the ground.
I thought he was going to be very short.
And scream and then fall over because I'm so high up.
Don't worry, Skump. You'll get used to it.
Jelly is 6'5", so she does not understand what he's freaking out about.
Jelly, she looks at you and she says, "Put on the robe."
I put on that robe.
You put on the robe, and suddenly you are a 6 foot. You have a brown hair, but you have a very sensible flat top, and you too are a male, a very chiseled male.
This doesn't feel right for some reason.
She says, "Perfect. You will have a harder time putting on this armor, but I think you could pass for human, Coen."
I pass.
She says, "Great. These are what you're going to need to infiltrate. However, I will say this. The charm that's on these will last only 24 hours. After those 24 hours, you will revert to how you look normally."
Good. Wow. Glad we put it on now before we rested.
Well, she says, that's how much time is just left on it. But you did rest. You had a long rest.
Yes, I know. We've been walking for hours.
Yeah, but you didn't lose any hit points while you were walking for hours or spell slots, so it's all good. She says, "At this point, I need you guys to get ready. Do whatever preparations you need. We'll have you head on out."
All right.
And by preparations, I mean that you guys are now level 3.
Woo!
Woo!
Woo! All right.
Tingles.
So, first question I have is, Skumk, you don't have any major decisions to make at level 3, right?
No.
All right,
I just
cool.
gained some spells.
All right.
mostly.
Any major ability that you gain for being level 2 or level 3?
No.
All right, cool.
Just spells.
What about you, Jelly?
I do get two level 2 spells, I think.
What about you, Jelly? What major thing happens for you at level 3?
Well, this happened at level 2, but I'm going to say it now since we didn't before. But I chose to be a wild magic sorcerer.
Cool.
So anytime that I cast a spell or expend a spell slot, at the DM's discretion, I can roll to see if I create a wild magic surge, which basically means...
Cool, and we discussed that we're going to have that happen on every single one.
Yep, so look forward to that, guys. But at level 3, I gain meta magic, which is a cool thing for sorcerers. I can expend a certain amount of sorcery points, and doing that allows me to manipulate the way spells work. I can give people disadvantage or advantage on spell checks. I can extend the range of my spells or do things like make a spell that affects a single person, make that like an area of effect spell, a bunch of cool stuff like that.
Awesome. Coen, yours is the big one. You have to take an oath.
I do. I get divine health, which means Coen is now completely immune to disease.
Nice.
Which means no STDs for Coen. And
you can have sex with
I
Skumk.
I also have to take my divine oath, which I take very seriously.
What
obviously.
oath are you taking?
Oath of vengeance.
All right, so
I've written my oath. It's a full theatrical experience.
Excellent.
Is it like a musical number?
Where do you have?
Absolutely.
Do you have to take your oath at a shrine of Bast?
No, I can do it anywhere. I just have to prepare the ground.
Okay. Let's say that you go outside. You take a moment by yourself, or do you
Sure.
want your friends with you?
I'd like my friends there.
Do you want a horde of goblins?
But they have to. You have to stand back. You can be the witnesses. So what I do is I create a circle of catnip around myself, and then I stand in the middle of the circle, and I pull out my papers and shuffle them because I wrote my own oath, and clear my throat, and suddenly everything goes dark, even darker than it was, a kind of magical darkness that is even hard for people with magical sight to see through, and suddenly it starts raining, but actually only raining within the circle. And there's lightning, and around the circle, all these green eyes appear, and suddenly there's a whole hundreds of cats surrounding the circle of catnip. And I begin. Almighty Bast, Queen of Cats, Mistress of the Night, Avenger of unjust wrongs, Weapon of righteous anger, since the most foul, low-down, and cowardly murder of my master, Morty Shinsplinter, you have taken me under your paws and taught me the ways of vengeance. Now it is time for me to swear my sword to thee, so that I might become one of your avenging angels, a part of the furry army of retribution. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, kneecap for a kneecap. I swear that as long as I shall live, I will seek revenge on those who seek to commit wrongs. In Bast's name, so shall it be. And then lightning cracks and thunder roars, and then everything goes completely dark. And then the light comes back, and the cats are gone, and I'm on my knees in the middle of the circle, dripping wet, and there's a tear running down. My tears running down my eyes.
All right.
I step out and I say, now I am a complete paladin.
Jelly, watching all of this, just starts breaking into applause.
All of the goblins are like peeking out from behind the house, and when he finishes, they're all like, "Woo!"
Are you wearing a cape?
Yes. Let's say yes.
So you find, almost as if by miracle, that your cape is now latched onto your armor via clasps that are cat paws. Golden cat paws.
And it's also, there's no wind, but my cape is blowing out behind me. It's billowing.
The camera zooms out and you see that it's just Jelly standing a few feet away from him with a fan.
And Skumk standing behind him, actually waving his cape.
Yeah.
Just... And I say, thanks for that effect, guys.
You're welcome, buddy.
It really helped with the dramatics.
You're welcome, buddy.
Hi, this is Stan Ferguson.
This is Ivan Clark.
Hi, this is Jody Doyle.
Hello, this is Trevor Gibson. I play
This is Ivan Clark.
Jelly Butter.
This is Ivan Clark.
That is still Ivan Clark.
Ivan Clark. All right. So we want to thank everyone for listening to our show. I know this was a short episode, so enjoy it, I guess.
Be grateful.
You have all this free time.
Be grateful we did this for you.
You're tearing me
And
apart,
please.
Lisa.
Subscribe, and come to iTunes and give us a review. That would be wonderful. We would really appreciate some more reviews.
Yeah,
Speaking
we've gotten
of,
a couple of
that
reviews
is,
already, and it's really nice.
That's a good seg, Jody, because if someone wants to show us how grateful they are
for the service we selflessly
provide. Yes, selflessly. Subscribe to us specifically. We want you to subscribe to us on whatever you're going to listen to us. But if you can download iTunes, or if you have an old copy of iTunes rolling around on your PC that no one uses because, well, it's great. iTunes is so awesome. You should always be using it.
Oh, God,
but,
I hate
yeah,
iTunes so
subscribe
much.
to us on iTunes because that matters. And also give us a review on iTunes and anywhere else. You can just 5-star us. Well, no, you can give us any star that you feel
12 stars.
As any star, as long as those stars are 5.
100
And
stars.
also, come and chat to us on the They See Me Rolling Facebook.
Facebook
You
group.
could give us 5 stars,
well-
or you could give us 1 star and have 5 or 4 friends give us 1 star.
You could be like
That'd be
our
a
wonderful
terrible
listener,
idea.
Miguel. You could be like our wonderful listener, Miguel, who's always on the Facebook page chatting with us.
He's a cool dude.
And he is a cool dude, and I want to give him a shout out in this episode.
Stop, Miguel.
One cool thing.
Miguel and JL is a cool dude as well. He's on
JL
there
is
too.
great. He's been fantastic, and a lot of people have been really nice to us in general outside of our group, including Michael Rader, host of Wings.
What you are all like our listeners are, from what I've seen so far, you are the coolest group of people ever. Like
Yes.
Ever.
what I'm trying to say.
And if you want to talk,
is that
if you
I
want
love
to
you.
talk to Trevor specifically, we have a Twitter. Is it a page? What do we have? A
Twitter
handle?
account.
I don't
Or
know.
just
I
go
don't
to
do
his
Twitter.
house.
one
You just go to just visit him.
What's our Twitter?
one cool thing.
How do they talk to you on Twitter?
They can go to TSMR Cast at Twitter, and you can message me specifically because I run that thing, and you'll also get cool tweets of me just being very sad that I'm on this adventure.
being you
And
recording.
yeah, you can get previews of the upcoming episodes that I record whenever we're recording, and a bunch of cool stuff like that. Also, I have to say on the Facebook page, I'm playing through Dragon Age Inquisition as Jelly Butter in character. So if you want to see that, definitely join the Facebook group so you can join Jelly Butter's quest through the world of Dragon Age Origins. It's just as awkward as you would imagine.
So thanks for listening, guys.
Yes.
Love
Especially if
you.
you sat through whatever it was that Trevor just said.
What? Was that not?
Bye.
I'm only slightly drunk.
Bye forever.
Bye.
Bye.